Hi, my name is Lutfah, and in this video I would like to convey the arguments of government side and opposition side with the motion. This house would let the government fully own and manage all public transportation in Indonesia. From the government team, I will start my speech at 3, 2, 1. So as a government team, we strongly agree that we would let the government fully own and manage all public transportation in Indonesia. This means all of the public transportation, whether land, sea, or rail, are fully owned, operated, and managed by central government. So there will be a shift in authority from the regions, which is Pemda or Pemkot, to central government. Public transportation is just not a matter of mobility, but a still tool to create a social justice and national development. When left to be managed decentrally, the transportation system in Indonesia becomes uneven, uh, unintegrated, and inefficient, which exacerbates inequality between regions. So while the government has the primary authority or a role as a regulator, the owner and operator of certain transportation and infrastructure providers. However, the public transportation system is managed by local governments or Pemda. This regulation must be changed. Some big cities have a good service, such as Jakarta, Surabaya, and Bandung, but the majority of other regions are underdeveloped. The decentralization of transport makes the quality of service dependent on the capabilities of each region. This is because the local governments take funds for public transportation from the APBD, while the source of APBD itself is different from region to region depending on local economic potential. As a result, there are huge inequalities between regions. With full ownership and managed by the central government, it can guarantee equal national service standards from Sabang to Merauke. So there are regulations that will be carried out by the government that fully own and manage public transportation through the Ministry of Transportation. Number one, the central government will take over all ownership of public transportation assets that previously managed by private sector and local governments such as Trans Jogja and Trans Semarang. Number one. And number two, the central government will use demographic, economic, and mobility data to determine the ideal type of public transportation for each region. For example, we use MRT or LRT to megapolitan for megapolitans, and BRT for medium-sized cities, and mini bus for small cities, and water transportation or public motorcycles for 3T districts. So not all regions should have the same models, but all regions should have quality services as needed. Number three, the central government will build a national systems that use national digital payment card. For example, like Jacklingo, that's already implemented in Jakarta, but this is in a national. There's one integrated application to check like the schedule and routes for efficiency and digitalization. And number four, funding will be taken from the APBN and cooperation with BUMN. Yes, please. If funding will be taken from APBN, it will be very burdensome because APBN are also used for education and health, which are more crucial and urgent for now. Okay, there is a big expenditure at the beginning, but also a big impact in the long run, such as reducing congestion, pollution, and increasing national productivity. Funding is not only taken by from the APBDN, but could also from a regional transfer funds and cooperation with BUMN without private ownership. And actually the implementation, it can also be done in stages. So the APBN funds will not only be used for the public transportation directly. And is this an urgent matter? We believe this is urgent. A national system will eliminate inequality and expand justice. Public transportation is basic need, just like education and health. Access to safe, affordable, and decent mobility should be responsibility of the state, not left to regions with uneven fiscal and human resource capabilities. Thank you. Now from the opposition's side, I would start my speech at 3, 2, 1. So we are on opposition side to reject this motion. We believe that letting the government fully own and manage all the public transportation in Indonesia is an unwise and risky policy. This issue is not about whether public transportation is important or not. All parties, everybody is agreed that this is important, uh, basic needs and urgency. But the question is should government be the only owner and the manager? We believe that monopoly by the central government would bring new risky, such as bureaucracy, stagnation, and mismatch of services with local needs. In fact, many successful public transportation services involve public-private collaboration. Technologies such as ticketing app, real-time timetables, and electric vehicles generally come from private sector innovation. If everything is taken by the government, the potential for innovation will actually die because there's no competitor or pressure to develop. Financing the entire public transportation system in a country as big as Indonesia will be a heavy burden on the state budget. Indeed, it was said earlier that the scheme will be implemented in stages and funds can come from regional transfer funds and cooperation with BUMN, but it will be prone to budget waste and corruption, judging from the track record of the central government that often corrupts and make mega projects stalled. APBN are limited and could be used for education, health, and other basic infrastructure instead of supporting a large and complex system. An existing regulation with local governments regulating public transportation should not be replaced but improved. The main problem is not the decentralization model is wrong, but that the implementation is not optimal and there's a lack of guidance and distribution of funds from the central governments. Instead of full centralization, we propose the central government strengthen national standards and provides more funding, but still gives the regions flexibility to design and management their transportation system. This means healthier collaboration and according to needs with the government still able to help physically and technically, but it's the local government that regulates routes, modes, and local policies because the local government is the closest party and knows the needs of its citizen. We all agree that public transportation is a right, but the solutions is not to pull all control to the center. Instead, by strengthening regional cooperation and flexibility, we can provide services that are fast, precise, and equitable. Thank you.